30 rounds is what it took, and they managed to make it quite the blockbuster for us. We do get to see in the end FaZe take this one home. Astralis, especially Device, putting up quite the fight, but Mirage goes back to FaZe, and they stay with just one loss on the map on record. I'm joined by YNK and Sponge to talk through it. And I mean, where do you want to start with this one? The fact that Nico's running around with 30, and if I look at the kind of the highlights, it is almost all entry opening from Nico.
It was a battle, though. You know, I know they had a good performance. 8 players in the server had good performances, right, where they were stepping up and getting a lot done. Obviously, both in-game leaders were struggling. I think we can note that Carrigan, you know, especially on that first half, was dropping guns when it needed to happen and just going, at one point he had an MP7. You know, so he's being very selfless. I think if we critique him too hard on that performance based off of doing things like that, it's not really fair because he's hamstringing himself for his players. And I think he's come up with some really unique and interesting strategies. That pistol round which they kicked off with, I love the timing, I love the idea. Just to explain it to people, it was basically an A split, but they just boosted a player on the little ledge outside window. Olaf pushed through a connector smoke on a well-timed flash. So anybody playing jungle or window is completely blind in that scenario and just gets pincered. So just little things like that. That's what turns me on at night.
You're also a fan of that CT pistol round as well, where you just put Olaf and Nico in underpass, and they just, I mean, you actually, I think your words are, what can you do?
Yeah, it's not brilliant strategy. No, it's just, I'm just going to put 2 players as a combo, which is scary as hell. They're going to push a part of the map, and I'm just sitting there watching them, and I can see what's going to happen. I can see how it's going to pan out. I'm like, what can they do? Like, what can you do? And it's just headshot, still lose the round, of course.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good point. Astralis, 3 out of 14 pistols now. They won one in this map.
And that's courtesy of Kirby, 4 francs for him.
Yeah.
Yanko, what's something that you want to go ahead and make sure gets said?
I think that second pistol round was cool because that's something the team started doing now. You know, usually it was just the standard smokes, go towards CT on A, take control of that. But now teams throw the smokes, start, you know, draw some attention, then you have people flanking through underpass. So that was basically FaZe being one step ahead of them. I mean, for me, the highlight was Nico and all of the 2v5 that they won on the T side. I mean, when you look at it, 16-14 game, that was definitely what made the difference. Missed smokes everywhere, you know. I'm not really buying the whole that's just a fake so they can go underpass and so on, because you get so much information there, and you know, player who is holding mid from window, he shouldn't really spend too much time. He should be aware of the timings of his opponents coming underpass. But I agree with Chad, great stuff on the T side from FaZe, seeing how they, even in the first gun round, start off with a set piece towards B. But on the CT side, you could still exploit their flaws, which is what Astralis did. They still play too individualistic. We don't see many, you know, joint moves. Yes, one time they tried to push towards ramp early on, but Device was already there with the AWP, got a pick. So you can see how a team like Astralis, who is very, very fundamentally sound, has very strong teamwork, very good executes, how they can isolate those individuals from FaZe and really make it difficult for them to hold bomb sites.
It did look like some hope was being lost for Astralis in the first half, but stabilizing.
Yeah. Look, I thought it was all over. They did have a couple of rounds that bring it back in the first half and then made it super competitive. They were grinding, you know, they were playing a good brand of Counter-Strike, and I think it was the heroics of Olaf, which is how I'm going to give. I'm going to give him a gold star. Olaf's going to get a gold star. He's getting a little pin on the chest.
How so?
Because he won 2 pivotal rounds. It was the 2v5 with Nico, which was Olaf getting 3 kills, and then Nico, you know, towards the end with the UMP getting a lot of work done, making Device look a little bit silly there, or, you know, very frustrated, that's for sure. And then there was the round where they pushed. Carrigan actually dinked. Who was it? It was Dupree with the bomb in Kitchen when they were there on the CT side, right? And then Olaf followed up, got the kill, picked up the UMP and a smoke, and then delayed, held the bomb, and his teammates all came around him. But that kill, getting that bomb down, is why I'm awarding that gold star.
Just while we're talking about that round, words like unforgivable and you know, you shouldn't be losing that, words are often affixed to those kind of half buys where pistols run at you. But is there also an argument to be made when you have players as competent with those weapons and as skilled as FaZe are? Does it not just start becoming less of an unforgivable sin, but more of just FaZe being nuts?
Sometimes you just have to deal with it. Like, FaZe is going to win rounds, other teams will not. And, you know, that's going to be frustrating, but you just need to accept it. Against FaZe, you need to play in a way which, you know, most of the time is going to give you a best chance to win. Sometimes, even if you do everything right, you're still going to lose the round because simply they're that type of a team. And, you know, looking at how they play the T side more than anything else recently, they're becoming like what Fnatic could have been when they were really dominant, if they evolved. If they could have gotten past, okay, we can't beat teams anymore just based off of individual skill. Let's introduce some structure, and that will take us to the next step. So I feel for FaZe right now, the main thing is that CT side, figuring out, you know, doing some things as a team and not relying like 90% or so of the time just going for the default hold.
Just one more note before we move on to talk about Overpass. I think, Astralis definitely gave as good as they got, and with those force buys too, you have to credit them there. They actually force bought back and won the next round. So I think it's a really close matchup, and this is exciting. If this is what we can expect on LAN, if this is a matchup that can carry us through the rest of 2017, it's going to be a blockbuster.
It could be quite the rivalry as well for a multitude of reasons. One that I could start with our next map. Overpass is a weird one. I'm actually getting a little bit cautious for Astralis here, Yanko. We saw them lose to Big here in the Pro League on this very map, which we used to expect them to be world-class.
True, up until the player break, that was pretty much their playground. Only loss this year has been, prior to that, to Liquid in that ECS finals, which was a bit weird, and also to Gambit at the major with that amazing performance from Mo. So you look at FaZe, obviously 100% map, 100% map win percentage. Yeah, that's a mouthful.
That's a hard one.
But they haven't played it that much, and also, against what opposition on LAN. So no matter the map, FaZe is always going to be scary. For me here, Guardian is going to be the focal point because he always played well on Overpass, but you can still see, no matter the map, sometimes he's a bit overly aggressive, right? His team already has an advantage, and he keeps going for more, and against a team like Astralis, you can't afford to, have lapses like that.
Yeah, and I think, they actually played earlier this evening against Heroic on this map, FaZe, and they won again, so it's still 100%.
And they're also Danish, Heroic, so.
So basically this game's over. Pack her up, boys. We're going home. Let's go down the pub, have a couple of bevies.
I am desperately trying to find how many times they've played Overpass.
I think it's 9 or 10.
Okay.
It's 9 or 10 times. They've played a total of, I think it's like 31 games now in total with this.
And they still have a 100% win rate.
Yeah, so they've played. This is until they lost on Mirage the other night. Mirage and Overpass, they were both undefeated on. And so this means that they've gotten their best 2 maps in this series, which is a very scary prospect for Astralis. But something good is them having a 16-14 game that was close. We saw good performances from individuals, meaning I was just going to be heavily favoring FaZe, especially after the first half of that map. But now it's going to be competitive. I just want to know, how much work or how much are Astralis going to show right now, knowing that they're coming into the E-League playoffs in a couple of days' time. That's something which I think, isn't talked about enough. It's something maybe we should have talked about with G2 is, are they saving stuff for the E-League playoffs, which is only happening in a couple of days' time?
I mean, FaZe is there as well, but yeah, I guess you can make that point. But, when you look at the FaZe win record here, yes, they're 8-0, but it's been, Heroic 2 times, Big 2 times, Liquid, C9. The highest profile team that they've beaten on the map has been G2 so far, and that was their opening game in Pro League pretty much. So still things to be seen. Look towards Astralis and see how they will fight the aggression from FaZe.
We'll find out how it does go down. Admittedly, most of the results FaZe have picked up on this map have been in single digits, not a single digit, double digit for their opponents. It's just been 16-5, 16-7s. Astralis, however, are a different kettle of fish. So let's flop on over to your casters then and jump on into our final map of the evening. Henry G and Sadakist.
And I'm like a fish out of water, and you're a bit like an eel.
Floundering, trying to do the best he can, but ultimately failing.
The eel or me?
No, you. The fish
Oh,
out of
okay.
water.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Always so supportive of me, Hank. It's why we make such a good duo.
Final map of the evening, Matt.
Thank God. Just kidding. I like you. I don't want to get away from you.
It will be FaZe on the CT side. It's Overpass once again. We got to see it earlier with Na'Vi and G2. We'll see if FaZe and Astralis can put on just as entertaining of a performance. We'll see. There's going to be 4 sets of armor. Karrigan yet to buy. He's just working out what he wants. He wants to defuse, get in a smoke. In-game leaders usually have the utility, and that's exactly what Glaive's got as well. Smoke and a flashbang. He's also got the PD-50. We saw him have great form with that. On Mirage, let's see if they can do it again. 4 players towards middle for the FaZe clan. They'll be falling back here, but there's quite a lot of action coming from the connector. Here we go.
Oh, Device hit his head off the window, the door frame. In some ways, it may have saved him because he would have walked out into a crossfire, which inevitably he does anyway, and it's just going to be FaZe tearing them apart. Just Kirby left.
They actually do that on purpose, believe it or not.
Hit the door frame.
Yeah.
Do they actually?
Because it means you come out much faster. You bounce off the top of the door.
But he messed it up and didn't. He went backwards. He didn't bounce downward.
Oh, normally, like if you remember on Dust 2 and you rushed it, you had that little ledge. You used to rush bust when you rushed B on Dust 2. You bounce off that little ledge on the little spike off the wall. You'd bounce your head off that, so you jump and like fly in straight to the floor.
Shoots you down. Yeah.
So then, I didn't see it, but that's what I thought.
I think he failed it if you see it
there
again.
you go. Yeah, I didn't even see it. It sounded like that's what he was doing. But either way, 4-1, and it will be a complete shutdown as FaZe find the first 4 kills. Kiabi with armor and a Glock does some decent damage here, but I don't think he'll get much more than this. Maybe 1 more kill. Giving it a good go. Takes all off down to 26 points of health, but he's getting pincered in now. Players from the A site behind him along. He knows he's going to lose this round, but he's just trying to be a nuisance and take anyone down with him he can.
Bloody nuisance. Guardian has enough of that game. Takes care of him by putting matters into his own hands.
MP9s. And a force buy from Astralis. Pretty common stuff, considering you don't get the bomb down and the pistol. You want to try and answer back with some extra firepower. Used to be the Tech 9 every single time, and now it's the CZ that fills it up. That's what we call meta at CSGO, when weapons get adjusted and things are patched and changed as Valve see fit. It obviously impacts the professional game as well. And with the Tech 9 getting adjusted, as per tradition, when Valve changes something, it completely removes it from the game entirely.
Exactly. Which you love.
Love it. So, small adjustments, meaning the removal of a weapon. An iconic weapon in CSGO, the Tech 9. Never to be seen again.
It's iconic, but it's had its tenure as being demonic as well.
Yeah.
As Glaive takes down Kerrigan. Good find for the pistols, considering they started so poorly for Astralis in the previous round.
Bit all good from Calvi, give up on that. Pulling back now. I think Rain is aware and won't be able to kill him at that range, but certainly can do some damage. Oh, maybe he can. There it is. Nice work. Tapping away with the MP9. Not an easy thing to do. 4 on 3. They have managed to recover a weapon. That's Glaive with the MP9 itself, and Dupree with that CZ. That's why it's so popular right now. Very versatile pistol. Nico coming in from the flank. Let's come all the way through T-spawn. Bomb's actually in the B bomb site, and doesn't like FaZe have any sort of presence there whatsoever, but Nico's coming in from short.
They might concede a plant into this, though.
Yeah,
I think they will.
Yeah.
They just have to hold Nico off for a second longer. So some money for Astralis. Device gets Nico, tries to throw it a flashbang.
They've got a smoke for short, so this should be over. I'll do what he can. I'll spray up. Give it a go. But ultimately, he can't win this unless he gets very lucky.
Oh, it's not for the reload. He would have definitely bought some time in it.
No bullets now.
Fortunate.
Oh!
He won enough bullet. This, I think Guardian still has. Yeah,
Yes.
he does. Yeah. That would have been incredible.
Yeah, the no-kid situation as well definitely made it a bit exciting. Device got more of that than I thought he would have. The smoke was down. Svanler's bullets have nothing left. Gets a reload and just about takes the player down. Here's the replay of Kelby trying to get up on the flower bed. Not the most graceful play. And that will be the bomb planted. So it means they have ample money for the next round, but nothing really to work with here. Number 3, they get some more CZs and upgraded pistols. Bit of armor there as well. Device with the helmet on. Considering the Zorpa, that's a pretty heavy investment. You got to kill in the previous, and you might have planted the bomb as well, so maybe it's something.
Maybe it is something.
Guardian just left while the match was live, and the server, I think...
It has done the same thing it did yesterday at this point. It has, so they will get a quick match medic. Maybe it's something to do with Danish teams as we play in Denmark, because yesterday it was Cajun B who actually... False alarm, everyone. We are here. It was just a prank. The server's gone down. Someone pressed the wrong button. We went down in the studio.
The whole
We're
studio
back.
wiped out.
It was fun. I liked it.
Pitch black.
Yeah, 2-0 FaZe. We'll get a match medic and get underway
button
shortly,
they
I'm
press
sure.
to turn all the power off. There's one big red button that says don't press.
That would be the one. That would be the one. I'm going to get out of my stool, so if they go to us camera and I'm not there, don't panic. I'm turning back on my computer.
I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's probably
I kind of need that.
a wise decision.
Okay, I'm going to have to get on the floor.
Overpass. Oh, wow. Please do. By all means, Hank. Technical pause. I think that speaks for itself at this point in time. The music's growing quieter. That's not really growing, it's shrinking. Perhaps we're getting it back away. I'm not sure. I haven't got a call just yet.
With the server crashing and the player dropping out, I would assume that will take a little bit of time.
Happened yesterday, and it was reasonably quick, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, considering no one died, it should be fine. It's just getting everyone back in the server. That looks like a hard crash. Maybe it's just GoTV going down. I'm not 100% sure.
It could have been that, yes. In which case, they'll just pause and wait it out. But yesterday, indeed, it was the server. They medicked right away. I'm hearing gunshots. That's a good thing. So they're back in pretty quick.
Let's log back in and get it to a place where I can actually cast the game.
Are you back? Are you in a place so you can cast the game? Not quite yet.
Not quite. We're getting there.
I'll wait right here for you. Guardian has apparently also decided he'd had enough and wanted to go elsewhere. And so he has. How about you, Henry?
Okay. I think I might be in a place where I can commentate on this game of Counter-Strike Global Offensive between FaZe Clan and Astralis. And it looks like they're back on the server as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're all good to go. That was a bit exciting, wasn't it? We had power cuts, we had player crashes, but we're all good to go. I forgot what the score is. Do you remember?
The score was 2-0. I think it was actually more than that. I think the graphics was wrong. It was like 4-2 or something.
Yeah. We'll find out after the
I went with the 2-0 because that's what it said. But when you actually asked me the question, and I think deer inside of my dome, my brain dome, I think you're right.
Either way, it will be. No, maybe it was. I think this is the third round.
Well, we'll find out in a second, Henry. Sometimes we just can't remember. We're old. It happens.
Bit too much excitement going on.
Very.
So yeah, I think it is, because we had the bomb go down, and I said they'd be fine for the next round, so this time they're just getting some deagles out. And Guardian removes one of them, that's Glaive. His head ripped off towards long 8. Vice with the Desert Eagle trying to get the reply frag, but it's a little bit desperate. Just trying to spam off some bullets and hope for the best there.
Hope for the best. Wishful thinkers. My type of people. It's Device, Deagle. Can't quite get the shot in toward the site. Dupree will advance with his Deagle. We know he's swift with it. He's not quite Taylor, though.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I got it.
Thanks.
Great stuff.
You're cheer captain, and I'm on the bleachers.
Should be around for FaZe, but Deagles can be a little bit deadly at times. And fours, there it is. Clean sweep. Oh, maybe not with the reload, but there it is. Final kill comes through. It was 2-0. So we go to 3-0 now. So everyone's up to date. We know what's going on.
Yeah, everyone's on the same page now. Tom's going to attempt to, our producer, turn off the lights this time.
Be careful. Oh,
he's done it. We're still in business.
This could be it happening again. It's all fine.
Not so fun.
Round number 4. Let's go. Device just down to the UMP. That's not ideal. They'll go towards B this time. There's some aggressive play from the CTs. Kiabi's feeling brave. He pushes through the smoke straight out towards the short area. And we're going to have a very fast round here with him getting the opening kill as well. That's a lovely shot. Nico still on the bomb site, trying to deny the plant, which won't be going down just yet. But they know he's there, and they're trying to spam the smoke, but can't quite pick him up just yet.
Nico getting inside of the smoke to walk through and try and be sneaky. Can't do it. Kiabi kept tabs. Makes a quick kill immediately after. Play for still, though. Site direct. Guardian, seeing it from above, has the bomb down on the platform. But he's the only one left. He still has a chance in it, though, because low enough HP on Kiabi. He's gone back out and found device on Cat. It was almost a divorce, I imagine, if Kiabi didn't get the trade.
Well, they still made the round expensive FaZe there, kept them modest at least, and it was a nice fast play from Astralis there, getting quickly up towards short, pushing smokes as well. Kiabi feeling brave as he went up towards the short area, managed to open things up. That was a nice shot at Nico, desperately hiding in the smokes. He was avoiding bullets on the site, left, right and centre, but eventually went down. We do have a Guardian AWP here available. It's a glass cannon, but still, that could be enough. We've all watched Guardian enough to know just the AWP in his hands is always going to be troublesome. Glaive once again pushing the smoke and manages to lock down this water area. Maybe calling for a boost of a teammate or just lining up a smoke.
Loft. Quick spray. Through the boards. This is the boost you like to see. CT side. Perfect vision of the doorway and the railing if anyone were to jump up on top of it. Dupree just underneath of it. It's going to listen for sound cues. They back off it after a few shots, and spam came through that actually hit Kerrigan down to 20. That's unfortunate timing, and I think they knew they hit him because they threw a nade as well. He puts him on 19. One damage on the nade. Not a big deal, I suppose, from that sense, but Glaive is still trying. Oh, Kerrigan's got to be careful jumping across like that.
Certainly has. We're number 3. No frags exchanged as of yet, but it's FaZe sending the back foot. Didn't have much money to work with, but Nico and Rain, at the same time, they push short and towards the bathrooms as well, and Olofmeister chiming in. What a trio that can be. All finding frags pretty much the exact same moment with Glaive and Kiabi. Still alive and kicking in this one. They'll get the bomb down here and still will have a chance, considering we've got Kerrigan low HP with the AWP now as Guardian throws it over so he can get a little bit more close range, and Rain's pretty far removed from the situation. I think Astralis can still win this round.
Chance they can with Kiabi at the helm. He's got to get shots quick and swift, fast and clean, because he's down to 2 HP, and that's enough for Guardian to quickly find him with a UMP, and therefore we now go 4-1 for FaZe, pending the defuse, which will happen inevitably.
Defuse comes through. And it will be 4-1. So the bomb goes down. Still, it is a reset for Astralis, but not a devastating one. They can probably still just about, if they wanted to force into this one, they don't have to. They've got about 3k per player. So they're going to get 1900 to the next round. I think you just take an eco here and bring out the AKs once again. If you force into this, sure, you'll have the CZs, maybe some UMPs, 1 AK perhaps. But I think this is the better approach. Just get some upgraded pistols, a partial buy, a few sets of body armor as well. No nades purchased, but sometimes this can be enough. Maybe Dupree will try and see if anyone's boosting and try and take them down. Device heads towards middle.
Glaive with the CZ. Olaf trying to spray back with the M4. Glaive might just walk in on this. Oh, if Kerrigan even looked away for a half second, that was a kill. 100%. But it's a shot back down. Rain gets taken out of the equation. Still, though, the low HP and the gun's up. Even with Dupree picking up an M4 to go along with the armor he has, it's not likely they'll be able to contribute much with it. Nearly a counter peek that was well timed from the sandbags to catch out Nico as he looked at Monster. But gets away with it. Boost potential for Zippix? What do you reckon? I think you put the M4 up in Dupree's hands.
I'll have a look. Up he goes. Hoping they can get something done here. Edging closer, but decide to opt out. Dropping down to the water. Still 4-3, low HP though for Dupree. Taken down by Olofmeister in the end. Clips him through the corner of the B-bomb site. Drops an incendiary. That will send Zipex packing. Can't really do much of that situation. This was just a partial round. Remember, they can still buy up into the next round. It will be 5-1 for FaZe. Unless something goes horribly wrong here. Olofmeister taking a few bullets. As we hit the 25-second mark.
Nico surprisingly gets taken down by Zippix, and he follows it up. He's low on HP, and somehow with an M4, 9 HP in fact, he finds 2 kills. That definitely creates the site.
Wow.
Opening. Flash off means Guardian can't do anything of it either. And now a bomb plant? Or is it? Because Kerrigan denies. Zippix responds, but he's got to get a kill. 5 seconds. He's got to go for the kill.
Whoa.
Guardian repeaks. It didn't need to do so.
Good lord, I thought he had it. I thought that CZ did it.
That would have been unbelievable.
That was a 4-on-2 when they had just a CZ and I think a PT50. And they managed to find an M4 and it almost goes horribly wrong there. Very expensive round for FaZe. And Astralis, they'll be satisfied with that somewhat. Sure, they didn't win it, but they know now they've got FaZe on the ropes, win this round. You've got them at a double eco. This one is not over By any stretch of imagination, Astralis have got a lifeline now with the AKs coming out, smokes and flashbangs available. Kiabi with no nades whatsoever, but it's Guardian still on the AWP, just about wins the previous round. That was a little bit touch and go. I think he must have assumed the bomb was there and he was going to go straight for the plant. I like this boost from Olofmeister. It's not the same boost we usually see towards the sandbags on the right. He's actually just looking for players walking out and looking at this angle. He has a view of the squeaky door, of course, as well. It's quite a cool little boost, if you think about it. They are coming towards squeaky door, spots one, and decides to back out. That's his cue to leave.
Cue to get away, run off, scurry and hide. Cleave tries his best, knows where he's getting shot from, so tries to locate it in reverse. Can't quite do so. Nico doesn't even get scathed. In fact, he'll just sit behind the barrels and be comfy. Cozy, some would even say. You might. Meanwhile, though, to the monster tunnel they go. Zipex trades accordingly onto Nico. Still, though, it's Device to find Kerrigan, Zipex to walk in and get all off. Never mind trades, they just find straight entries. Rain at the A site realizes with the bomb down and how swift, in fact, they were on their entrance that they're best to just save.
Oh, absolutely. The money was always going to be weak here, and we said if Astralis win this round, it could equate to a couple more. Very clean entry towards the B side there. The execution looked good. Managed to get the opening frag required. 2 kills for Zipex in total. Players looked strong all week, I have to say, and it's Guardian now to save the AWP. Rain to join him as well. They have got a couple of smokes in their back pocket and incendiary as well. That's worth quite a lot of cash there, so definitely we'll be looking to save it. No kits to save, but 4 players survive for Astralis. And we'll miss out on the bomb a little bit closer for Zipex, gives them the 9 HP. And Guardian gets 1. And still going to have a chance to force around it. I think FaZe almost certainly do here, considering they've got an AWP up, an M4, they're starting to drop UMPs and barb the armor as well. It's a shot we didn't see. Let's have a look. Oh, that was quite nice, wasn't it? Through the wall, the headshot as the player jumped out of bank. So the buy's not awful. 1 Famous, CZ, a UMP, and Guardian. He has to work really hard for this round. He needs to make sure he pushes towards shore, gets towards Monster Tunnel. We can't just sit back and wait for them. He knows that. Actually holding towards the pillar. I thought he'd be going for at least a duel at the very start, hoping for that fast play towards B potentially. That's not going to be happening. It's a very slow round from Astralis here, just trying to feel out the map and ascertain as to where that AWP is. They know it's up. That's the aim of the game. Bait out a shot from Guardian. Hopefully he'll get nothing from it. I really feel like he had to work for the opening pick. Astralis are waiting for that. He's still towards B. He's going to be backed up by Nico, but it's Rain that goes down first. Kiabi. He looks very good on Overpass, I have to say. He's finding opening kills and finding them lots of frags when they really need it in the tense situations.
Guardian, meanwhile, though, AWP in hand. He's going to go toward Monster and see if he can find any of the T's walking toward him, and they certainly are walking in that direction. 4 players, in fact, coming from T-spawn. He's lined up, found the first one quick, goes back for more. They jump out. Ooh, surprised that he misses it, but he does. In the end, it's Nico that goes down, putting pressure onto Guardian, but Guardian certainly likes pressure, or does he? Because Device gets a kill, and that gives Dupree access from sandbags at such a time and fashion that he's able to run forward and find a kill on rotation. Olaf's next in line, tries to pre-fire. In fact, Dupree's had enough of that. Astralis found 2 in a row and get it back to 5-3.
Astralis right back in this map now, and that's going to be a harsh eco for the FaZe clan. Astralis finding kill by kill, pushing the CDs back, and at one point Astralis had what was considered one of the world's strongest T sides on Overpass. We didn't really see it recently. They've been dropping some horrendous performances on this map, but this is looking more promising now. We've got into it. They were 5. Well, I guess it was 5. I've lost track of it because we obviously crashed trying to work out what the scoreline was. But it was like
it was 2-0 for FaZe.
Yeah, and then they brought out in the 3rd round, right?
Yeah, we crashed interestingly enough at 2-0 yesterday for North. So I'm wondering if there's something in the config that's causing a 2-0.
Could be, yeah.
A certain situation or something. Nico gets KRB down. All's fair in love and war. Device wants to get himself into a more timely position. Guardian is certainly in one if things all go according to plan, and they might. Zipex heading the direction. I think he anticipates this. He's got a read. He's certainly... Yeah, exactly that. Oh, Guardian. I thought he would have looked away from that. Spots the gun barrel. But the problem is all Xyp9x is doing is buying time. Guardian reads that well, though, and Nico is there to thwart off anyone trying to sneak in behind to pinch out Guardian.
This was the full eco map. And it's all falling apart, but Device is still alive and kicking. 30 seconds remaining. He has got vision of the bomb. He picks up the MAC-10. Knowing they've got no armor as well, that's actually an intelligent decision. Get rid of that AWP and see if you can get that bomb down. He probably will, but Olofmeister, he's at the monster tunnel. And actually Device with the complete wrap around the world here, going for CT spawn. Guardian is aware of the possibility. Can he deny the plan, though? To come right down to the wire here. It's across the site. Guardian ready and waiting. Well played by FaZe. Eco victory. Guardian with 3 kills. And it all came off the back of Nico pushing the connector through the fire. Finds one. They find a rifle. And it all comes crumbling around Astralis there. 6-3. AWP comes out with Device, but this will be their final bag. You can see Glaive just down to a pistol here. UMP for Xyp9x, a couple of AKs. And just when it felt like they've really established themselves on the map, they're now up against Nico with an AWP and Guardian as well. That's quite a scary prospect. We used to see Nico have a little whirl with the AWP when he was playing for Mouse Sports, and he's suddenly very well versed with the weapon. I'm sure he can cause some damage here, but what's he up to? Oh, I thought he was going to push with the monster tunnel there with the AWP. He has got a player on the left-hand side. I think he's just trying to make a footstep to bait out whoever's on the left-hand side.
Could have tried to do so. Nico, meanwhile. Everyone's patient this game. Certainly a slower pace to it. 6-3. Caribbean backs off. Glaive in the bathrooms. Rain forward of them, but Guardian's still back inside of the site. Double up. Set up the second one with Nico is already on sandbags to watch the rotation back to the direction. So Dupree, if he walks toward the door, will have to be very, very careful.
Execution potential available. 3 smokes, a few flashbangs here. They have got mid-control and long A as well. Device on the AWP hasn't found anything just yet, but Guardian ready and waiting by the APC. A position he's used to playing time and time again. Looks more towards middle, and now comes the final execution. Smoke's coming through. Guardian to hold strong.
Strong and hold long, but he switches back over inside of the denial position, as we call it, to deny the plant. In fact, gets the bomb before it arrives by swinging out and then gets back inside of the wall of smokes, but Kerrigan's done good work as well. Guardian denies the bomb. Dupree goes down, can't find the second. Got a little bit, I think, confident to try and fire back into the smoke, and suddenly it turns, but the round is gone in time alone, and Olaf doesn't have to do anything at all, except maybe, if he can, take guns away. Just missed the last bullet.
I've got double orbs on the T side. Oh, Lord. That was very close indeed, and the no-scope from Guardian. Maybe it was a scope, I can't quite remember. Oh, quick scope, there you go. And Dupree can't find the bomb. That's so well played. Guardian gets one, does what he has to win the round. He'll die after, but job done. If Olofmeister took down that AWP, they would have had such a successful round, but they have given double orbs up. It'll be Device and Xyp9x with the AWPs. They forced into this one, 7-3. 3 CZ, it's not the worst buy in the world. It's a little bit strange. Quite rare to see this in the T side of Overpass, 2 orbs and 3 pistols.
Yeah, it is a bit bizarre, but that's what they saved, so that's what they'll work with. It was a choice made for them by the game, Henry. And you can't hate the player. You hate the game.
I do.
Okay. You don't. You love the game. You were telling me earlier how you wanted to be a pro player again.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you.
It's the politically correct way of saying it. Either way, we get Device in front of the bathroom, still trying to fire toward the site where Guardian awaits with his AWP and seemingly is on better form because he continues to be an absolute beast inside of the site with the AWP on the CT side.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. And it should be around for FaZe, but Xyp9x, not known to be an AWPer, does manage to get the close range interaction with Olofmeister in his favor. And they have managed to pick up a rifle as well, but it might not matter. Rain takes down Glaive in the bathrooms area. 4-on-2 now, Kiabi and Xyp9x left in an unfortunate situation of being in a 4-on-2 against the FaZe clan with Rain, Nico and Guardian still alive here. Carrigan holding the flanks with the UMP, and Rain can hear one encroaching on the A-bombs. I just don't really have time to work with, and that's Rain finding him. Takes down Kiabi, and now Xyp9x a million miles away from the situation with the AWP. And he's trying to stay alive here, misses the key shot there. And he should be able to make it this time. Oh, maybe not. As I said, not known to be an AWPer, so he'll give that away. That was the force buy, and that could be the beginning of the end of the Astralis run here on Overpass. It was looking quite promising.
The least likely AWPer of anyone, by the way. If you want to be specific, I would say of anyone on Astralis, I would see Kiara be more likely to pick it up than him. Dupree sometimes does. Device we know does. Glaive, maybe. I still think Xipix would be less likely than Glaive.
Yeah. Back to Guardian and Orfmeister. They seem to mix things up. Carrigan, Olof, Nico, Orkan Orb, Rain. Never seen him use it. Into round number 10. Full eco for the Astralis side. Some CZ, some Deagles, PD50's picked up, but nothing really should come of this round. But Device already tagged up, down to 30 points of health. We did see FaZe come win pretty much a full eco, so maybe Astralis have a chance to do so as well. That was a really unfortunate round for them. As Guardian looks towards long, misses out a player dropping down with the flower bed there, but gets to look again, takes down Deva through the corner of the flower bed, and that's what I said. There was a player who snuck past his vision. Maybe can recover the AWP as well, but there's Rain trying to shut them down and doing so efficiently so far with the AK-47. They have made their way to the side. They pick up the AWP, and Kiabi now has a chance to try and do something with this.
It's a chance to try and do something with it. As we say, he's at least more likely than Xipix. A little bit early on his pre-fire anticipation toward the dumpster, but he goes back to the pistol, swings in, finds the shot, but then nothing else he can do. Can't get the gun draw at a time. And Kerrigan gets the kill as Xipix will be found by the same man, the same gentleman who doesn't do it gently. It's 9-3.
9-3. The replay coming in. This was the kills from Carrigan to secure the round. It was the AWP flying through. No scope potential. They could see the barrel down Carrigan's throat. Just couldn't pull the trigger in time. And it will be round number 11. AK's coming out once again. No AWP for Deva. And double AWP set up for FaZe. So you can exploit this. If you can get in position for the full execution, that's when you can really punish the AWPs and remove them from the bomb sites. Guardian's feeling brave. He pushes in front of the flames, hoping that the T is on the right-hand side there, but they're going towards long. It's Rain to defend. The flashbang comes through. He is blind. He gives away his position. And should be 2 kills for Astralis here. They get a couple of dinks in FaZe, but that's all okay. Good flashbangs from Astralis, and they overwhelm the long area and find themselves in a 3-on-5. Yeah, we'll call it that.
That works. 2 men down. Guardian trying to find a shot at long with the AWP. Well do, but he gets hit by a smoke. Massive gap on the right side of it. Was that really the point? Not really sure. As the shots come in. Good find. Nico doubles up at water.
This is the players that weren't dinked as well, so unfortunately that would normally be very good news, but it's now the AWPers who have to try and win this situation out. Those dinked players don't really do much for them, as it's a one-shot kill regardless with the AWP unless they leg them. Instant kill for Giabi. That should be round, as Olofmeister can't really do much of this as he pushes the fire and has the pistol out ready and waiting, which he did, but Kiabi outpositions him and it's the 4th round on the board for Astralis. As we said, the double AWPs can be a bit of a nightmare, but it was towards long where both the M4s were posted up and the flashbangs came through, and it was quite a simple procedure then at that point for Astralis to take both of them down. They get dinged up in the process, a little bit unlucky there for FaZe, but trying to change up their positioning. Got punished for it. Astralis 1 step ahead of the game, and we are going to have a force buy from the FaZe side. Mag 7 coming out. First shotgun of the evening, I think.
I think you're right about that, actually.
Yeah.
Dear Valve, if you want every gun to be viable, please fix the shotguns as no one's using them. Rain is to good effect. Good headshot on Dupree in the lower tunnels.
Yeah.
I think everyone would take that as a good start.
$100 in the bag. AK picked up.
Astralis shaky on T side of Overpass this evening. A little bit better to start things off last night. Didn't almost go to plan though, did it? It's through the door. It's a dink to Glaive. He'll move out of the way. There's a hole in the door now too, so he's got to be careful. He tries to use it to his advantage. The door becomes, or the hole rather, becomes bigger. And then they back off, and it's Kerrigan to try and push. This being round 14, for those of you who haven't done the math for yourself. +2 to the round total on the top, but look at Garby. This is all good. Don't even worry about the headshot on Guardian. There's enough there to fire at, so he does so. Molotov doesn't bounce all the way in behind the truck, so Olaf stays positioned as he is and tries to get them on the way through, but a flash will push him off, and in doing so, he gets caught out in the open by Kiabi. A second entrance for him. Can find Kerrigan as well. Bomb planted. 2 versus 2. Unfortunately, in 2 versus 2, there is no kits. There is armor, though, and there is Nico on an M4. Could be a menace when he walks back in. Kerrigan's going to try and do the reconnaissance for him. He picks up an M4 on his way into the site. Molotov, frontside bathrooms, forces them to the left, as Nico will hold, or who will? I'm not sure. There's been no kits picked up. It's going to be a full 10-second defuse, but Kerrigan and Nico find it. I think they've got time as well.
I think you might be right.
Wow.
What a retake that was. Around it looked like they didn't have much to work with. A shotgun, the CZs, UMPs, and a couple of M4s. They managed to make it work, and it's Kerrigan and Nico. A full blind kill. We didn't see it from Nico's POV towards the bathrooms. I have no idea how he managed to out-duel him then. It's surprising that Astralis even were facing the bomb that map. They hadn't even gone for the defuse at that point. They could have played them and kind of dodged and weaved between the two, but they managed to give them a target to work with. They managed to eviscerate it as well. It will be round number 13, 10-4. So it's round number 15, actually, Henry.
That's right, yes.
Does say 13 at the top.
I was trying to explain that to you specifically. I knew the audience was following along.
Yeah, just me that's lost.
Device, though, good find. They may have lost the last round and would love to have had it because they could have gone to 9-6, but they certainly want to make it at least 10-5. Guardian wants to deny them of it. Nades go out, Guardian swings, bomb goes down, perfect timing. And it falls apart for Astralis as Glaive tries to get back in, but Olaf is there. Typix reloads his IKEA pistol, Henry. You've taught me that one.
Yeah, you have to construct it yourself. Or assemble it yourself, I guess.
Some assembly required.
This will be quite the clean round for FaZe. 11-4. A scoreline you would think would be an easy win, but not what we've seen tonight. We've seen plenty of 11-4s, and no one's been able to finish it off. It seems to go 30 rounds regardless. So very good job by FaZe, but they've definitely got their work cut out for them in the second half. Astralis, no strangers to this map, and I'm sure they'll be turning up the heat in half number 2. Find out if they do after this break.
I said something about the balloons last time, so I won't do it again, but I just did. It's 11-4 for FaZe. They are well and truly in front, and they swap over to the T side. We'll see if Astralis, as you said, Henry, have anything to play for.
Some crazy round there, Matt. One that stands out is the Guardian situation when he denied the plant on the A bomb set around. It looked like Astralis were destined to win, but he comes in and steals it away. And maybe the game as well, it contributed to this massively. They got, of course, the eco victory as well. Nothing really invested to the round, but USBs, a couple of P250s. They managed to have one of those on the board. So a frustrating first half there for Astralis. But like I said, no strangers to this map. I've come back from worse before, and I'm sure they can do it again. And we'll be half number 2. Starting momentarily as we switch things up. They'll be going on the CT half, looking to win the pistol, and they certainly will. No one gets an easy run in Pro League, Matt. It's a rule.
Is it? It's a rule.
It's a rule I made up. that everyone abides, that you can't beat someone, you have to win like a gentleman and take it to all 30 rounds.
I will not argue with your rules. You are the commissioner, Henry.
So we'll make sure that happens.
Commissioner Hank has spoken. Don't let it ever be forgot. It's still not quite live. As you can hear, there's rifles being fired, and we are still flying in the sky like a bird. I'm like an eagle, I want to fly away. I can't remember who sings that. Who sings that?
No idea.
Can't remember.
I'm like an eagle, isn't it? I'm like a bird.
No, there's a couple different. Can't
No,
remember.
it's I'm like a bird.
I don't know. I think there's a couple different songs there, Hank. You might be confusing one with the other.
I think you might be getting getting a little bit confused.
You know, yeah, I got a few crossed wires, that's for sure. Won't deny it.
Well, got maybe a
You
bathroom
wouldn't
break
believe
here.
me if I did anyway.
It's been a bit of a long evening, but looks like we're ready to close this one out. Half number 2 will begin momentarily. It's Overpass, the final half of the evening. Here we go then. Astralis with a must-win pistol. We'll have a look at their buy first, considering they're on the chase. See if anything interesting comes through. Not likely on the CD side. It's usually force-sensitive armor and a diffuse kit. Maybe. Oh no, Guardian's dead.
Guardian is dead. I think he must have timed out again. He did in the previous. Right? Yeah, he just legged down and left. Peace out. Bye-bye, cruel world. Didn't want to be a part of it anymore.
Corpse lies on the floor.
Cold. And motionless.
Dead look in his eyes. Dupree timed out as well.
Well, you know what? You're on timeout too, Henry. I've had enough of you. Go to your room.
It's the same room as yours.
Lock yourself in the closet.
I've been in there a long time. Haven't I?
Knew that was coming. You made it funny.
Well, it looks like Guardian's still on the service. He might have just pressed the wrong button or something. I don't know. He didn't time out.
That would be something.
I have no idea what he did. But he just died. Oh, here we go again. Oh, I saw it.
What did you see?
The error in the top right. There it is.
Oh, no! Oh, no. See, now what they need to do is run, turn on the lights, power off the studio. I'm sorry, I'm making fun of someone who feels really bad about that, and I don't mean it. I just thought it was rather comical. But that said, we have to wait. We have to wait to get this started. Wait for the debate.
Well, we have to match medic the server. We're usually pretty good at doing that. Matchup this is Astralis versus FaZe Clan. So many storylines, so much history. You've got the former in-game leader of the Astralis team on the opposite side of the server, Carrigan. Who would have thought he would ever leave Astralis back in the day?
Yeah, well, I don't think he left by choice, to be honest.
No, he was benched, remember? So,
that is okay. All right, I was trying to be polite about it. I was implying it. You just went there.
well, he kind of embraced it. He made that little video of
It's
himself going
true.
to sit on a bench.
That was actually pretty funny. You're right. I thought that was pretty good.
So he was fine about it. I think everyone was just lost at that team at that point. They were just like, well, they stopped making playoffs and everything was going wrong. They're going out group stages and the team morale seemed really low. It used to be awkward walking past them at events when they'd be dropped out. It was like, God, trying to avoid them.
Yeah.
You know, if it looked like they're about to kill people, it was like, well, let's just leave them alone. But now it seems like they're obviously not winning tournaments right now, but they're still obviously getting top 4 placements, playoffs every single time, and they're still a world-class competitive team. So it's always going to have its ups and downs. CSGO gets more and more competitive as the months roll by. We're seeing more and more teams step in and show us what they're made of. And we'll get into half number 2 momentarily. We are just building up the anticipation here, teasing you somewhat. We tried to start it before.
Here it is, Hank.
But you will get it soon. What you're all so desperate to see. The logical conclusion of FaZe versus Astralis. CT side start now with Raban is on the server right now. We do have now 2 players of the same nationality within the FaZe lineup. That's going to be Olaf Meister and Robin. So at least they get to speak their mother tongue at some point. International lineups are becoming more prevalent, of course, and I'm sure we'll see a few more of them pop up as years go by. Like an Optic, for
that's probably
example.
true. Yeah.
It's interesting that Optic did the exact same route as FaZe did, right? So, well, it's worked for our main rivals in terms of organizations. Let's give it a go ourselves and build an international team.
Yeah, they've all done it.
Okay, now I really mean it. We are going to start now.
I'm glad you meant it, because I was starting to think you were lying just to me, and I was taking it very personal. Caster, stop, yell, start the game.
I've started it. Nelly Furtado sang that song.
That's exactly. She's Canadian. How
she?
did I not even know that? I knew that's who it was. She did a song with Swollen Members once.
I don't know what that means.
They're a rap group.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what the name is implying.
Yeah.
Yes. Zipix, also Canadian, tries to tap away where he can, but bomb's already been planted. FaZe are starting to stretch their legs because it was 11-4. Don't pay attention to the 0-0. This is not the start of the game. This is the start of the second half. Device has to do everything he can to get this back and try and control it now before they lose momentum early on. Zipix down. Device is going to meet the same fate. A drive-by shooting by Guardian, and FaZe strike first and have a chance to wrap this up.
Very fast B approach. They're making their way into the site, finding every kill. There was a little trade there. Kelby with the CZ, quite ready to see that on the pistol. He gets one. Look at that whole spray down towards Shaw, but didn't quite happen for him. They get the refrags, tag up another player in the process. Over on the site is a 4, maybe 3-on-2 for the retake there. Couldn't find the shots. The USPs had to get nice and close with no kit. And CZs and a Deagle here to work with. Device still believing the AWP. Does not buy armor. As we enter round number 2. This will make it 13-4. If Astralis can't convert this round, but Rain by himself, he'll get taken down. Dinks Glaive in the process. They'll make their way in towards B. Up towards Monster. Will be Guardian. But the flashbangs are decent over the CTs. They're actually going to find a few kills, and it seems like this evening no one can actually get away with winning round number 2. It's been a very difficult process. I haven't really seen many 3-0s here.
Easier said than done, apparently.
Yeah, it seems like the CZ on the CT side can be a little bit of a nuisance, and there's another kill for her. Olofmeister goes down, and Astralis bounce back.
Kerrigan wants to be the next in. Tap, tap, tap. Nobody home. Door not answered. And then they all come calling as he pulls an 8 out. And Astralis, you're right, no one does want to win the second round. Find a response immediately and forget the fact that FaZe had a chance for a free kick to put this near the end. Astralis have blocked it. They got the wall out.
Good CZ approach. And we're getting to round number 3. Astralis find a lifeline there. A much needed one. Like I said, that'll be 13-4 against them. But they managed to convert it to 12-5. Force buy from the international side of FaZe. CZ the Deagles themselves, P250. After not just holding the default in the previous round, they went for the very fast B approach, got punished for it again. All the teams will find their fates if they walk into a stack and aggressive play for those CZs. See if FaZe can do the same thing. The problem is with the CZs on the T side, the offensive side, you're the one that has to be applying the pressure and going into the choke points. You can't just hold a corner like you can on the CT side and take them down one by one. Device with a nice shot of Guardian there. Finds the advantage and he'll fall back as well. That's exactly what you want to do. No, don't have to overcommit. Get that kill in your favour and drop back. Let them commit to the next move.
No, they've committed all right. Kerrigan tries to fire into the site. No success, no resounding response. As the response comes out ringing from an AK-47 instead, and it had his name on it. That's unfortunate. Rain with 4 HP. 4 millimeters of rain today, Hank.
That's a lot.
It's really not.
What it really means. Like 4 millimeters is on the ground or is in the air? How does it work? What are you measuring?
A fall. 4 millimeters on the ground would be like, yeah, that's a lot. If
Yeah,
it was all sitting there. But it's how much falls.
Okay, into what? Into a cup?
Yeah, I guess if you put a cup, right? If it was on the ground, because it runs off the ground or gets absorbed into the
How
ground.
big's the
I
cup?
think that's how they measure. Well, it doesn't matter because it's only going to hold 4 millimeters of water.
What cup is it?
A red solo cup
Okay. That's
from the party last night.
Yeah, that's what I had in mind.
Thought so.
Fully good now for FaZe. Glocks across the board, and they do get a kill here. Glaive with the wall bang, though. He gets a double wall bang. Look at the angle he's holding. That's quite cool. Through the tin sheets, he gets a double headshot. Looks quite cool from his POV, but the reality is there's 5 players unarmored just with Glocks on the other side, so not too surprised. Got the information from his teammate as well that they were all there. Now the game really begins. FaZe are going to close this one out. Astralis, after winning the second round force buy, are right back in this game, looking to close the gap. I'm sure this is the spray down from Glaive's POV. There it is. Pretty cool. No more for FaZe. What's Kerrigan got up his sleeve? How is he masterminding the comeback after losing 3 rounds in a row?
Olaf Meister. Academy gonna go challenge him out toward the park. Flashed off, small gap. They could actually see him if they looked close enough, and they certainly did, as Olaf makes no mistake of it. dupreeh has to get away, and in doing so has to go through the smoke. Device will at least get Olaf to save him. That's over top of dupreeh's shoulder toward the park, and somehow dupreeh gets out after all of that. So well struck from Astralis to pull the situation back.
Yeah, I've got the advantage. For now, though, 3 players remaining for FaZe. They have got B site control, or have they? Is up the rain to find the second kill as well. Drop to smoke as Device falls back and actually gives a bit of cover towards dupreeh. Bomb will be planted in the meanwhile. Good nade, gives his position up, and now can they do anything with this? It's Karrigan and Rain. If Nico is in the mix, I might be believing. This is looking very good for Astralis as all the teammates coming through now. Rain sets his position up. Aggressive, of course. We'll see if he can get anything done.
Rain is ready. Rain is ready. Rain goes back out and finds Xyp9x. Karrigan down below will try and hold the angle to do the same for FaZe, but it's the flank that they had to worry about. Rain spotted it, thankfully, as dupreeh came in from Monster. He's not dead yet, but he's held off. Molotov will force Karrigan out. He'll just run around and go hunting for the player who's trying to defuse the bomb. Device gets 1 in response, finds 2, but no time. And the round goes the way of FaZe. 13 finally for them. I say finally because they won the pistol, remember. They had to recover from the round afterward.
Well, they keep them very modest there. The retake doesn't really work out. Rain, like I said, aggressive position, pushing forward to a graffiti. Managed to get the opening kill and buy some time for his teammate Karrigan. He couldn't find a shot at heaven, but certainly kept the CT up top contained. I believe that was Device. Flank comes through. Rain manages to do enough damage. Forces him onto the bomb to try and get the defuse. Like I said, time was running out. But now we have a very interesting round here. Device, known as one of the best AWPers on this map, goes aggressive towards middle. Dodges the flashbang. They've got a double AWP set up as well. Like you said, Glaive, he can AWP as well, Matt. He's got the secondary AWP here. As the AWP shot comes in, Nico gets tagged, but he does not care. The nade takes him down eventually, but he's done the hard work already. UMP works out for him, and Kiabi recovers the AWP. This could be a very close round indeed. Only with 2 smokes and a decoy. No flashbangs to work with here. Molotov or anything else. And it's Device caught off guard. Rain rushing up towards middle. Karrigan almost blows his teammate's head off. And dupreeh now the last line of defense at the A site. Ready and waiting at long. They haven't checked it. They're not looking towards long at all. He gets 1. Can he find anything more? Karrigan can't get the refrag just yet. But Rain certainly can. Through the smoke. Xyp9x can flying through. And it's such a chaotic round here. Kiabi with 1 frag. And they can't hold it together. I haven't seen such chaotic play all evening. But it looks like FaZe have finally locked it down and got themselves a 2-on-1.
Looks like they finally have. It took them some time. Flashed through in the end as well. It's gone to Kiabi. AWP picked up spots, but very slow reactions. He's late to the shot. Not that time. As Karrigan goes down. Over to the AK instead. That is a big missed smoke.
Whoa!
But still finds Guardian peeking. I'm not sure why. 13-8.
4 kills, 2 of which were with the AWP. Recovers the AWP. How does he hit that? Guardian doesn't even want to play with him at all. This is his stand in the open, offer himself up. This was kind of sick from Kiabi. That shot especially, good lord. Well, miss throws the smoke, but maybe it's enough to debate out Guardian. Boom. Really nice. We called out Kiabi. Maybe not so much called him out. He has had criticism around him recently in terms of his actual performances in big tournaments since the E-League Major, but that was stunning. They've got Astralis right back into this. Lose that round, they're probably on an eco, but he gets them right back in the game now, recovers the AWP for Device. They were in a double AWP in the previous round, which almost was their unraveling. No force buy from FaZe, just upgraded pistols here. 13-8, I did say. The 11-4 scoreline shouldn't be taken too seriously. Astralis can always bring these games back.
Yeah, they certainly can. First problem is what they used to have, that's for sure.
Yeah, right. You used to get 14, 15 rounds, and then it'd all fall apart.
Yep, pretty much. That's exactly what would happen. Couple quick shots as Nico gets out of position and over toward B. dupreeh, meanwhile, at the default denial, and sprays down 3. Do we get an ace? We haven't had an ace all night. dupreeh's got 4. He's got the bomb. Karrigan's trying to slip up long. I don't think we'll get the ace because he's going to find Device. Gets the kill on Device, but Kiabi actually denies that. So no ace, but no kill either, and 9 rounds. We're almost into double digits.
Double digits indeed. 4K per player on the FaZe side. It's not ideal. They got a bomb down there. They'd be sitting pretty, and they'll take another eco here. They've got a better rounds to work with, so why not? They haven't got the double digits yet, Astralis. It'll be 39. They'll go with the partial buy, take themselves down to about 2K. They'll have third state loss betters in the next round, so that's absolutely fine. $2,400 on top of their about 2.5K per player, actually, so it's not too bad. Device aggressive towards middle. Nails the first shot. Headshot on towards Carrigan. They'll try and get the refrag through the smoke, but actually end up taking more damage than they bargained for. They'll commit towards middle here, trying to make the CZs work, and back towards Connector, actually. They still have 2 smokes to work with. Could smoke Heaven and maybe decide itself and go for a cheeky plant, but they're back and forth. Can't really decide where they want to finish up. Zipek spots one and gets the wall bang as well. I caught that on my screen. It looked quite lovely from that angle. Jumped up, looked at his wiki door, got the perfect wall bang as it landed.
Step up, trying to flash himself out toward long, no peek from Guardian, who's safely behind the corner. He's going to throw a smoke out as well as Device tries to do what he can to spray into it. It's dupreeh we should have been watching, apparently, because he finds 2 kills. Kiabi gets aggressive, and Astralis continue to roll. Double digits both sides. All the games tonight keeping it close and exciting for us.
Oh, they certainly are. Finally, though, Orbs back out for FaZe. No double orb nonsense for Astralis. It was Glaive that tried to chime in and help. Didn't go too well. Guardian, no head armor, just note. We'll follow that storyline up against the M4s, which now can have 1 bullet potential. Good nade towards the playground. Doesn't do any damage just yet. Nico watching towards shore. It's Glaive using the nades at the monster tunnel as well. Actually hits Nico a little bit there. 19 points of damage. And this could be a key frag. Rain executes Device. He tried to open the door a little bit too close. Could spot the barrel. Heard the scopes clicking as well. And now got the 5 and 4. They can slow things right down. Carrigan knows this is a great opportunity. After taking down Device, they've lost the orb. Get towards that A site, smoke everything up, and work together as they flash towards long. There is a boost towards B. I'll be looking for this kit pick on towards Rain.
Guardian still making sure that there's going to be no pushes out from the CT side, and everyone seems passive and complacent, at least, on Astralis.
Guardian really wants to have a chance with this shot. He usually hits those ones, but not today. The smokes will be deployed. Like I said, they've got the advantage. dupreeh in that denial spot once more, but pre-fired this time. Rain comes in with the crowd spray, takes him down. Looking for 14-10 here. Still could find kills through the smoke. To Glaive spraying wildly, and he does get one eventually. Carrigan drops, and now the retake begins. Damage inflicted, but still with the man disadvantage. Is up to Astralis with the 1 flashbang to try and find any kills possible here.
And he kills it all off, though. Bomb planted, sits at long, perfect position to be in because he's able to take down Zipix, and it controls the angle that Guardian needs to watch. I thought he got both. I thought it went through the back of the box to hit the second, but Olaf found that on Glaive. 14 rounds for FaZe. They get 1 when it matters, and they've only got 2 to go. Take some pressure off the situation, and Astralis trying to come back, that's for certain.
Crowd spray in Rain. Pre-fires dupreeh, who got a little bit flashed up as well. Shot through the smoke. That was Glaive. Didn't think he'd actually managed to pull it off, but he got 1. Still plenty of money for the Astralis side. This would be their last buy, though. This is pretty much do or die. If they don't win this round, they'll have nothing to work with into the next. They have $1,900, and they've got about $1,000 per player right now. So FaZe, understandably, tentative at the very start of this one, boosting up in the playground, waiting for any sort of aggression here, but it's a full buy from Astralis, knowing how fragile they are right now. Won't be overcommitting and working on a default for now. We can see dupreeh holding the connector. Device at long on the flower bed, just watching the rock for anyone crossing over. But it is the slow default from FaZe. They've got connect control, heading towards middle as well. Looking to set themselves up to get in towards bathrooms and then maybe an execution. You've got to clear out this area first, and dupreeh, as we always mentioned, can actually see shadows if anyone walks in there. So there's the shadow, takes him down, takes down Olaf Meister. That's a free kill, and maybe a couple more here as Kiabi helps himself to Rain.
Helps himself indeed, Guardian. But he's got to be careful of the fact that they don't have long control. It's still in position. It's still covered off, and Carrigan's going to jump through. Surprisingly, dupreeh backs well off. In fact, I think he's anticipating the default plant position, so he's going to go for that immediately, leave his teammate in Device to hold long instead, and it's worked out because dupreeh finds Nico as Glaive gets ready with a nade. It's behind the Optimus Prime position that they have to watch for Guardian. Carrigan clears out Glaive. That gives Guardian the chance to go to Dumpster. So now they have the reverse side of the bomb covered, but he's the last alive, and they can get on the defuse immediately. They should do, because if they don't, They're just giving Guardian a chance to get closer. Oh, closer indeed. He certainly did hit him, but Device saves the day.
That was close. He actually hit him through those boxes there. That's so cool. You can actually deny plants on the CD side and go for retakes like Guardian just did when the bomb was down. He actually hit him as well. Imagine if he got the headshot there, and that's how he wins the game. But Astralis still in this one. 14-11, that would have been the round that breaks them. But the bomb going down means FaZe can buy just about here. It's not looking great. They have a lot of people. Got 4 AKs. This Guardian, I thought they would have 3 AKs and 2 pistols, but it's actually not too bad. Guardian, who obviously has to buy the orb, investing more money. They might just go for a straight-up execution here. Molotov towards Shaw, but Device, he doesn't mind. He's going to be pushing through with the AWP, looking for the corner. They won't be expecting this, but they're coming behind him in the monster tunnel.
Clave still sitting inside of the site, finds 2, has a chance for the 3rd. He definitely gets that. Bomb goes down. Astralis are striking back. It's a good FaZe got with the 14th round when they did, or we might be looking at a tie game at the end of this round. Instead, we go 14-12. Olaf's going to try and fight back. Kirby greets him on the outside of the monster tunnel. We're going the distance again, and it's exciting as ever because Astralis is certainly stepping things up late. Glaive, great defense.
Glaive just looked fantastic there, didn't he? He was so poor on the first map. I'm going to say that. He even tweeted out it was one of his worst games he can remember. And after that, he seemed to have found some form. That was wonderful in the B side. The M4 control and the kind of discipline he had there, to not really panic, was very good indeed. The Device looks like he'll be boosted up towards middle potentially here. Not fall back. Good nade though. Lands in the face of rain. Another easy round. This is the full eco Astralis are up against. They're going to find round number 14.
Try to find round number 14 at the very least. Kirby gets 13, rather, excuse us. They're still going to try and find round 14. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, we're still going to see all 30 rounds, I reckon. It's going to happen. Astralis looking very good right now, but that was the eco from FaZe. Looking for match point.
Looking for match point. Smoke down. Dupree peeks the other side of it. Flashbang at the ready.
Got 3 people with it as well, but they don't
yeah, exactly. There's no one there to peek on it. It would have been pretty. Still, though, Glaive's in position this time. He doesn't have as much to work with as he did on the mountain behind, but he still finds the kill. Bounce flash off the pillar. That'll bring Zipix up the ramp, and he's spraying them down. This is going to be a tie game. We're going to go 14-14. I'm going to say so now, unless Olaf has some incredible trickery up his sleeve. It's the only chance I see back into it.
I'm not sure he can do anything with this. The CT falls back, knowing he doesn't have to be there. Goes all the way for T-Spawn to lock off any rotations from that side of the map, and that could potentially be his downfall. We'll have a look as to where the bomb is going. This actually will work out very nicely for him. There it is. Dupree does find the bomb and indeed the round. I don't see this one going any further. And FaZe look locked out at this point. They've now lost 4 rounds in a row after this one. And they had the 11-4 lead, Matt. They haven't really got anything done in the second half. And remember, they won the pistol as well.
Yeah. They certainly did. They certainly did. And we're shut down immediately after. Clawed back into it. Olaf, at least fighting on, will find Dupree, but it's not much to do. They have the bomb picked up again, so they'll go for it. They'll play for it. It's 18 seconds. They force Zipix out of position. If they find an entry onto him, chance for the plant for sure, but a shoulder peek that brings Glaive back in. Glaive overcommits. Olaf reads it. Now they've got a real shot, but they've got time against them. 9 seconds, and Zipix won't allow them anywhere near the plant.
Yeah, they had to go for it, knowing that there was a player in that denial spot. But time running away, they couldn't really trick him out or flash him. Had to just try and pick him together, then go for the plant. But the flank came through, and this will be a tactical timeout for the FaZe clan. Good lord, Glaive played that to perfection once again there, Matt. Good flashbang to kick things off, got 1 kill, flashed again, took down 2 more, funnels him back towards A, and Dupree's waiting at the playground position to take down the bomb. It's looking very good now for Astralis. Money in the proverbial bin, and FaZe are going to take a partial buy here. Just to CZ's the Deagles. A couple of smokes and an HE grenade, nothing more than that. And we'll see whether they can do anything to get number 15 on the board.
Back underway, 14-14. Pistols for FaZe, as you say. Do anything to get this on the board as Astralis have turned things around. Close first map between the two, where in which FaZe was able to squeak it out toward the end. Now we've got something else to write home about. That works.
Okay. How did that happen?
Sprays at dupreeh and then just got extremely lucky, I guess, running forward with the CZ-75. But a spray down, I'm surprised that didn't amount to 2 for Kiari because they were both together close enough. Somehow Guardian stays alive with 16 HP thanks to the meat shield in front of him and trades it back. Device to Nico. Kerrigan to Device. Oh, Glaive, good read. Bomb down out of Guardian's hands. Lots of time to grab it again, but through the fence. This got very close considering it was just pistols. Very close. Glaive's denied the plants.
Wow,
Glaive takes the round. He is having a sick second half.
He is. 15 kills in this half alone. That's not too bad at all. Above a pause, of course. As we get into it, FaZe do have money available. That was the partial play, though. The first 2 opening picks there felt like it was all going to fall apart. But Glaive with wallbangs, double kills, and bomb denials and all sorts, making sure that his team have map point and indeed match point here. They're unfortunate on Mirage. Couldn't close it out. FaZe Clan beat them to the post. But here we go. The final round. Overtime certainly likely. Maybe Glaive's playing, maybe not.
If he has anything to say about it, I would say certainly not is more likely than not.
Very quiet half of Nico, just to note as well. 3 kills, 12 deaths right now. Almost non-existent.
Yeah, that is actually shocking. Very, very shocking that he's that slow in this half. Had a decent Mirage, no question about that, but nowhere at all on the score sheet this time around.
What is this?
dupreeh getting extremely aggressive. Has to be careful. He's going to nade over instead. Nico. Nade's not going to do much because he's got lots of HP left. The fact that Olaf starts off against Device and dupreeh's pushed out that far means FaZe will attack the A site with vigor and try and take it away as fast as they possibly dare. I think they're going to be reasonably well off for doing so. Glaive, however, has other plans. Like you say, he's the one that's been the hot hand for Astralis. Pulls it back to 4 versus 4, but it's a swing again. It's a fake that has worked because they panicked due to misposition, and the plant goes into B.
Overtime looking very likely now. The retake has to begin. 4 players alive for FaZe, some of the hardest hitting players in the entirety of CSGO. Orb set up a Guardian, and that's an easy shot at his level as well. Smoked out. Man disadvantage. It's definitely going to be overtime here. How can Astralis do anything about this situation? I have no idea. And dupreeh goes absolutely wild here. Somehow gets this kill, and then the one on short as well. Not going to happen. There's the one, but the refrag comes in, just baiting him out. And that's surely all Astralis have got to say about this one. They're coming for the defuse. Expect to get one, but the refrag's just on point, and there it is. Matt will go to overtime.
What a night. What a night. Overtime between FaZe and Astralis. It could have been the hot match of the week. It potentially should have been the hot match of the week, and we are getting treated to a delight because we are about to go much deeper into this game.
16K, MR3, first and 19 in the top of the scoreboard, 18-18. We do it all over again in double overtime. We'll maybe take a second here for bathroom breaks. That's what we normally do for the players. It's obviously a long map. After that, it's about an hour of play with all 30 rounds consumed. Half time, in many ways, as it all reset again, and you start fresh.
Chances are, the way things have gone, we'll get a few of those. I've already had one overtime this evening. This is now the second.
Yeah, let us remind you that you only get 2 points for an overtime victory instead of 3. And you get a points if you lose in overtime. So everyone gets points. Everyone's a winner here.
Everyone is a winner. We're all good friends. Everyone's a winner, but it's, you know, as we said in the case of G2 and Na'Vi, I would say they were both losers. Although they ended up splitting essentially a map for a map, so take from that what you will. But those guys are desperate to get points on the board.
No, G2 got 5 points.
Sorry, you're right. Yes. How dare I? They won the second map.
They did.
It seems like eons ago.
Yeah, it was very close. It was like 16-14, and the map Na'Vi potentially should have won. But there we go. It will be the second half. The first half of overtime. We stay on the same side. We have 16K, meaning money's not an issue. If you want to bring out the double orbs, you certainly can, but Astralis don't usually do that. Or just be Device. They had an idea to give it a go with Glaive. Didn't really go too successfully for them. But here we go again. Round number 1. FaZe with the fast play, or the fast fake, I should say, towards A, back towards B. Got them here. And what can they do at this point? They're on the more difficult side of Overpass. No orb shots connecting just yet. Elias takes a nade to the face and he'll fall back towards long A through the bathrooms.
All off with His AK goes to check exactly what goes on inside of those bathrooms as Nico. He's going to walk in. AWP saw the gun barrel just over his shoulder in the hands of Guardian. It can't connect to Glaive, but they know that's where he's playing. They're going to try and flush him out. Flash is well timed to counter it. They thought they had the better of him. Not so fast as he fires back and finds Nico. Excuse me, sorry. Still all to play for. I thought I was just speaking, then you spoke, and it was awkward. Kerrigan makes it rather clear as he walks in. Rain takes down Dupree.
Yeah, we've got a chance now. Rain and Olofmeister still going to have something to work with here. It's going to be a couple of smokes, Molotovs as well, 3 on 2. And believe me, they'll be going for this one. They've got plenty of money to work with, no reason not to. Device holds towards long. That's what Olofmeister is heading towards. Device not fully committing to the peak, though. He's changing his vision between middle and long A. Ed is closer towards the latter, though, and Olofmeister, ready and waiting, takes him down. That's the entry they needed. FaZe, in his first round of overtime, actually in a promising position now. The bomb should be planted. They have got a flank coming through, but it'll be late. KRB coming from the connector. It's going to take him a while. The bomb will be down before he can do anything about it. Hence towards long through the bathrooms. Not sure if Olofmeister potentially heard that, but Rain seems to be aware of the possibility. Look at this crosshair placement. Ready and waiting. This could be a one-bullet wonder, Matt. What do you reckon?
I think Rain is certainly going to... Oh, it's a couple shots. Get a couple hits in there. Had a good career. It's a shame that the music industry just isn't what it used to be. Could have made a living. Now everyone just downloads it. Diffused attempt.
Why not?
5 seconds, excuse me, for Xyp9x. Oh my goodness gracious, how does that happen? Henry has actually taken off his headset. It's overtime, 15-15. Xyp9x just plays as if he's against bots and holds the defuse. They don't even consider it on the FaZe side. That's ridiculous. You're back.
What just happened?
I have no idea. That almost looked like there was no one else on the server. There was just, everyone was tagged out or everyone was dead. He just held it. No smoke or anything.
I'm flabbergasted. Difficult to analyze that one. I have to see everyone's POV and what they heard, but that's massive blunder. Unless I see everything, I can't really tell you as to why that happened. It looked like they could hear the bomb. Why do you be in a position where you can't hear a defuse? How does that actually happen? No, Rain was towards long. Surely he communicates with his teammate. Okay, we've won the round now. Just watch the bomb. I'll finish it off if I have to. Bombers are halfway through as well. That's nuts. Bizarre scenes.
Very bizarre indeed. Shots come out. Olaf wins one. Glaive gets the better of it on an AWP. A double up setup, but Glaive's holding it. Not Dupree.
They lose the game like that, Matt. They're going to be tilted off the face of the planet.
Unbelievable. I don't know how that happened. I'm as confused as you are.
Over an hour grinding it out in regulation to get to overtime. And that happens. And now they're looking like they'll lose this round as well, or will they? All right, got something to work with here. In the denial spot, though, you got to check it. Dupree's often there, and he's overlooked, and that's the bomb down, I'm afraid. It's up to Olofmeister, Boostmeister, whatever you want to call him. He's coming in from the bathrooms, trying to do what he can. As we have Glaive and Dupree to defend in the 2 versus 1. They have the bomb, they can stick together. We have said Olofmeister in some fantastic form recently. Maybe he can make this work.
Chancey will. Olaf goes in. 1v2. All to do. Smoke. No, excuse me. Molotov going out. Nade goes directly by him. He still has the AK at the ready to try and exchange in his favor, that is. Gets in closer, and Dupree says that's enough. Astralis find 2 in a row, and yes, if that diffuse comes into it, I'm on your side. They're going to be rather tilted.
Yeah. I thought they might take a pause after that. They said, all right, calm down, gents. It's fine. It does happen from time to time. Not really seen it happen like that before. Normally it's like if you're exiting the bomb site and you've overlooked a certain position, he sneaks in, not when they're just standing there together. Maybe there's like assume the other there's a bad comms there, just assuming the other one would deal with it. Or they're both focused, one was in CD spawn, one was along A, just thought, okay, everything's covered.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan was there. Not sure what the thought process is.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and rewatch that. Maybe we can get a replay prepared for the analyst there so they can have a...
Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure that's on their mind.
Get a detailed look and see where both were, and those guys can explain it for us.
It's their job. They're good at it.
2-0.
Glaive going to the op. He's got some confidence in this game.
3 ops, yeah. This is when you normally lose these sort of rounds, like when you think, right, guys, we're doing so well here. Why don't we throw another op into the mix? And it's like,
yeah,
but why? We've lost 1 or 2 rounds. Yeah, but they won't see this coming.
There's too much of a good thing. It is a real thing. That's a possibility. To have too much of a good thing. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, hold your horses. Astralis. Oh,
How's he done that?
What? He overstepped the mark. He was way beyond the edge of the flower pot, standing in the open, and the flash timing somehow works.
That's unreal. I don't know how he's done that. Looked like, okay, he's overstepped. He's done for. Okay, 1 kill, fair enough. He's done well, but 2? No way.
All the person that was shooting him, I'm not sure who it was, had to do was hold down the trigger. They were already hitting him.
New devices here, apparently. The timing. Oh my goodness, he does get out just as they pull out another nade. And now the AWP in hand. Surely just wants to stay alive here, but taken down. A chance for FaZe to get 1 round on the board. It's Rain to find device, but Zipex overlooked once again. 2 versus 1. Carrigan, the in-game leader of FaZe, to put 1 round on the board for them after a disastrous first, but Zipex with 3 in total managed to close it out. 3-0 for Astralis here on Overpass, the first half of overtime. We switch over, and now we need a perfect game from the FaZe side. They certainly didn't present that in the first round of overtime. In the 2 versus 1 where they came out the trap hot, looking very good. They had a perfect situation to win. And they went horribly wrong. Zipex gets 3 kills to finish it, and a 2 versus 1 in the opening round as well. We didn't have to find any kills. It's kind of lucky, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit lucky. A bit lucky indeed. Wow. Astralis. All they need is 1 round. All they need is 1 round. Zipex is probably still laughing about what just happened, to be completely frank with you. I've never seen you take off your headset in overtime before. We're all going through something new and traumatic today.
It's exciting. Second half of overtime will begin momentarily. 3-0 though, I didn't see that coming. I thought it would be right down to the wire again. 1 round will do it now. And the thing is, as an in-game leader, when you know you've got this bed of rounds, just 1 round will do it. You're not fragile, right? First round especially, you can say, do you just want to rush long A? Do you want to just get into B? We've not done that yet. They won't see it coming. You might be prepared for our default. You can have a bit of fun with it. Mix things up.
A bit of fun with it. I'm sure the fun for them would just be ending the game at this point.
That would be fun.
Rain gets down toward the fountain and then backs off, gets to the site instead. Thinks that his chances are probably better off inside of it. Defense-wise, that is. Guardian, and also with a boost, has the AWP staring down the top of the connector. So we'll see if that pays off or not. I take that back. It's not a boost. I thought he was actually higher than that. Apparently, I got to relearn my angles. Send me back to trigonometry, Hank.
Well, that specific class, nothing else?
Well, I got to learn angles.
Okay. Might be a bit of a waste of time and money just for that.
Oh, I didn't say I was going to go to university. I can go to high school.
Okay. Finally get a high school diploma.
Yeah, exactly.
Dupree opening things up. 1 round will do it. 5 on 4. Dupree makes the first incision to what could be the corpse of FaZe, but it's going to be Olofmeister to fight back their aggressive play. That's the reaction from the CT side. Final commitment comes in towards the A side, though. Guardian push right back. He can't stop them. Carrigan can, though. Needs to find a shot. Can't do it. Glaive continues his good form here on Overpass. Quiet in the first map, but looking much better on the second. 4-on-3 situation. Bomb to go down and through the smoke. A ton of damage done towards Guardian. Device finishes the job. CZ in hand, and that could be enough.
It could be, but don't rule anything out just yet. Glaive with 1 more kill. Nico in a 1 versus 4.
Here he comes.
2 kills. Knows exactly where the other is, but runs out of ammo and runs out of time. Device gets the kill. Referee's called a stoppage to the match. Thanks Zipex for being a ninja, and Device for stepping up for the last shot. Astralis win it.
Do we call that a ninja?
I don't know.
Because they knew he was there.
I think we call that like a reverse ninja. We call that the or the terrorist team being ninjas. They were hiding.
They were hiding, yeah, and this stealth move was coming in. I guess I just don't know what that is. I hope they have some sort of replay to break down the analyst desk, because that was obviously the biggest part of the game. And that's enough from us, Matt. It's been a pleasure. See you next week. We'll throw it over to the boys at the desk. Take it away.
You'll be here tomorrow.
I will.
Yes, that's it from Matt. We're going to be seeing more from him, though, next week. Henry will be joined by a fresh face tomorrow to continue with the commentary. But I'm here with my usual suspects for some analysis, and they are talking about the Siblix defuse. I guess we'll kind of start there because the casters have, or rather Henry's made a very valid point that was kind of, that's the big round of that entire long game. Going into overtime, we do see Astralis take Overpass. Yanko, I mean, I think we can actually bring up that replay, but I mean, how do you explain that? What's the excuse?
I mean, the excuse is one player is rotating from long back to toilets, and the other one just you know, doesn't want to risk it. If he dies, then the round is lost pretty much. But I mean, Zipex here is just like going for it.
Pros don't fake.
He doesn't care at all, and it was Olofmeister who actually. I think it's also the angle at which Zipex started using.
Here we go.
So you can see like the jump from Olofmeister. He didn't even. Then he sees him, but
it was too late.
Too late already.
It was too late. It's too late. She cried as she waved her wooden leg. My mum says that. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, Alex.
Never.
For me, this wasn't the worst one. The one that was, you know, even worse was Kirby's 1v2. That was in regulation. So if he doesn't win that one, FaZe win in regulation, we don't even see overtime.
I think we actually have that 1v2 to take a look at as well. It was, you know, Kirby was a feature throughout both maps, actually. He had that incredible pistol round save, which looked like it was all over. Gets 4 kills and keeps Astralis afloat, admittedly not taking the map. And he's a feature within Overpass as well. He's a youngster we don't find ourselves talking about as much as we used to.
Yeah, I think we expect a lot from him as an individual. He's meant to be like potentially that second star in this squad, or at least he was touted to be, you know, at some point. Yeah, I don't know what Carrigan's doing. There's no need for that. And then Guardian as well. I think what he's trying to do is, you know, make it so he just takes a heads-up duel. But, you know, too sharp.
It's like, you know, he's probably going to expect me to fall back and play it safe, and I'm going to surprise him and hit the easy shot because he's not going to jiggle peek or anything.
Going to the bomb.
Actually, he didn't jiggle peek, he just pre-fired him and won the round. So that was pretty big. But the problem for FaZe throughout that half was they couldn't get anything going. They were reset every single time, starting from the pistol round, right? They win the pistol round, lose the anti-force buy round. So that was the problem for them. You know, a lot of weak buys, and Astralis was just playing very, very solid on the CT side.
Yeah, solid Counter-Strike. You can see the scoreboard here for the series, and it does look like Kirby. We talked about his spectacular clutch. 1v2 to keep Astralis Overpass functioning, but 38, my lord. Solid average of close to 20 frags across the 2 maps, and that's...
this is just for the map, for Overpass.
That's just Overpass?
Yeah.
I literally saw 38 and assumed it must be across 2. That's just Overpass. Do excuse me. I was...
HLTV says 34, so I always trust HLTV over anyone else. So probably 34.
It's a whole lot of
34-20 and not 38-24. Added 2 4s there. But regardless, Kirby stepped up immensely. Glaive stepped up compared to...
that's the series.
Now you have the series. There you go, Alex. We got there.
I got so confused.
Guardian had a great game on Overpass, especially on that CT side. You saw how dominant he was. That round where he killed the Dupree planting the bomb through the smoke. Time ran out after that, so... Yeah, all in all, it was a good game. I think FaZe, in the end, might even be happy with getting that 1 point by the overtime loss.
Something else to note, Astralis are really good at gun rounds, but they suck at pistol rounds.
Yeah, and here's a tough one.
They won some force buys.
They did win some force buys, but wouldn't it be nice if they won the pistol rounds, then showed how fundamentally sound they were by converting it into 3 and then winning gun rounds?
So here it is.
Astralis fan.
People talk about pistol rounds, and I've heard it's thrown around on analysis desks before that, you know, pistol rounds are just random, right? Like, as in, it's not the best way to start a half because it just feels random.
They're not completely random, but there's an element of randomness
to them.
It's simply because there's not much in play. There's only a couple of grenades, and mostly it's pistols, and it comes down to, can the Glocks get close range? And in the end, it comes down to the CTs most of the time. Will they hit one of the first 3 shots with the USP? Because if you don't do that and they close in, that's where the terrorists have the advantage pretty much. So that's why you say it's a bit random. Sometimes you can have players hitting those shots and the round is won easily. Sometimes they don't, and then it gets much closer.
But I mean, I can't help but feel for Astralis. It's one of the worst things to have bad of in CSGO, of course, you know, like when it comes down to the real pros, because... I mean, how do you answer that? They're going to be sitting there in their team huddle like, guys, we've got awful pistol stats. I mean, do you get more pistol strats? Do you just go and DM with a pistol for a bit? I mean, I guess those are the two options.
Yeah, I think maybe they could just take more risks on their pistol rounds. That's something that I used to do when we weren't winning them, was just do more gambles, because you either win or lose straight away with aggressive plays.
It might also be, they might be doing great in pistols in practice, and then for some reason it just comes into an official, you know, the strat is the same, but, you know, someone just shuts you down.
Yeah, the pistols aren't great for Astralis, but they are indeed still standing. Let's take a look at the standings as we can go ahead and jump. That wasn't actually as good because it was the today's games. I just wanted to make a pun. G2 then versus Na'Vi after the start of what was a very turbulent Overpass. And going into overtime, we've seen 2 of them today, and Na'Vi did not quite make the same over on Nuke, struggling to push the full 30.
Yeah, we had a lot of close games today, Chad. Even though, I mean, that first series, it does feel like G2 was, you know, in the driver's seat, basically. I felt like, you know, the score doesn't show it, but they were in control most of the time.
And yeah, even on the secondary stream it was close.
Close online.
Hellraisers continuing to get some points on the board from tonight.
pretty nice. Yeah, Hellraiser is definitely on an upward trajectory at the moment.
Yeah, not too shabby at all. If you guys wanted to catch Hellraiser's performance and actually be able to kind of document how they're kind of coming to be a team to really mess with. I mean, they've taken FaZe down now, Fnatic 2 nights back-to-back, a team that's on the growth, the up and up. You can go ahead and watch the VODs over on YouTube. It's easy to find if you're watching us now live. If not, though, it is just head over and subscribe to the ESLCS YouTube channel. That's where you can find all of them. Sorry, Yanko, I cut you off. What were you saying?
I just said like Hellraisers won 10 points out of 12 in 2 days.
Now that's a stat.
Against
And you can
FaZe
see
and
what that's
Fnatic.
done on the standings. Look at that. They've taken the 6th spot. 8 for 8. They have the same score as the Ninjas.
Yeah, if FaZe had actually won that match there against Astralis, they would be tied for 3rd.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a hurdle right there, and that's their first overtime game in all. So they'll be
Also,
happy with a point, I guess.
Looking at the matchups that both of these teams have moving forward, right, it shouldn't be on paper at least too difficult for them. They're facing some of the weaker opposition left in the league, so I am pretty confident that we will see both FaZe and Astralis at the finals this time around.
Yeah. Well, there's more Pro League for you. This is a Super Week after all, and hopefully we have some super matchups for you. We're going to be showing you none other than Mouse Sports versus Na'Vi.
Na'Vi again.
Yes, more Na'Vi, and on Overpass, a map that they did manage to pick up today versus G2. We get Fnatic and Astralis, though, to end the evening. Ooh, Fnatic Astralis. That could be one to look forward to, Chadney.
We like a lot of Danish Counter-Strike here in the
There's plenty of
Copenhagen
it.
studio, don't we? We're loving a bit of it. But yeah, that could be a good game if Fnatic can show up to their earlier form.
Yeah, North America, though, what have we got here? Optic Liquid, actually. Wow, that's this evening. If you guys want to stay up or set your alarm, have a little pre-cast nap, jump in.
Also, after Splice and Energy, can SK drop a map to Misfits as well?
They have been having a bit of a...
Will the cycle continue, Alex?
Optic top of the table as well, so see if they can maintain that versus Liquid. Probably the biggest threat in North America. From North America, I should add that caveat. Anyway, I think that's pretty much us done for the evening, and so we're going to continue to say our goodbyes, and you'll see us tomorrow. Match day 19 is on the cards.
Ding!
So we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here for the ESL Pro League, and we'll see you tomorrow.